Hello everyone, my name is Melinda and this is episode 9 of my knitting podcast. Hello everyone, welcome to this new episode coming out just a little bit later than usual, but I'm happy that you're here. If you're new here, this is a knitting podcast where I talk about all of the projects that I'm working on or that I've finished. I'm also venturing into designing, so I've been sharing a little bit about the process there. And yes, no yarny acquisitions today, but we have a handful of other projects to talk about, so there will definitely still be enough chatter for this week. Thank you to everyone who did submit for the giveaway. I was able to get in contact with all 3 of our winners just in a few days, so that was very helpful. Everyone was very prompt with responding after viewing the episode, so those have been sent out now, and hopefully you all enjoy your yarny goodness. We'll see when the next one will come around, but yes, that's that on that, and I think we shall get into it. So, sip of coffee. My first cup of the day, even though it's already like 10:30 in the morning. So what I'm wearing is also my first fully finished object. This is my new sweater design that still does not have a name. It's finished, washed, blocked, ends are woven in everywhere. Can you believe it? I am working on writing up the pattern and have the goal to push this tester call out in just the next few days. So I'll post it on my Instagram, and then maybe I'll just do one of the community posts here on YouTube as well for all of you that just follow me over here. I guess I can mention you can find me as mintknitwear over on Instagram and on Ravelry. But yes, this is a nameless design that I just finished. It is a drop shoulder sweater knit in the Juniper Moon Farms 100% organic merino in the colorway something that I can't remember right off the top of my head. But let's see if I can get up a little bit. It is an oversized drop shoulder with the eyelet detailing around the neckline. It's like a little bit of a really soft v-neck, we'll put it that way. Not a completely crew neck, not a complete crew neck, but it does have that little dip there. And then just some nice loose sleeves. There's a little bit of shaping once you get to the elbow down into the cuff. That's oversized as well, so just nice, super cozy. I did continue with the eyelet detailing along the bottom hem before the ribbing, and I think that looks pretty nice also. So good. That drape is awesome. So yes, I will be finishing writing this up here in the next couple of days so that I can get a call out for people to start testing it, and maybe we can have that sorted and finished by the end of this year, which would be super cool. What else to say? I guess here in Wisconsin, the weather is definitely chilly enough to wear a sweater. Went on a walk with my daughter yesterday, and it was about 57 degrees at like 10 a.m. So I think it's about the same today. I haven't checked the exact temperature, but oh, it's so good. Fall is upon us, everybody, and as the knitting community, I feel like 85% of us favorite season is fall. So here we are, our time to shine. Wonderful. So yes, first finished object. Tester call coming soon. So great, so soft. And that's really it. We'll move on to the next. This is a nearly finished object. The only remaining tasks are to weave in about half of the ends. I'm halfway through, and then wash and block it. So this is the Fantasyland Sweater. I am doing this as a sample knit for Sorella yarn. It is a design by Ashley of Sorella, and it's their autumn tonal colorways are the stripes here. So, oh no, I was gonna look up what they were, but they do have their tonals for sale. You can get them there. And then this will become a part of their pattern suite, if I'm understanding correctly. So this will be published there, probably once they get the sample and take their photos and do everything. So I do have some blocking to do, but I think it turned out quite well. I have talked about how I was a little bit challenged with it, just making sure that I was as perfect as possible with my stitches and monitoring my gauge all throughout, and just being very particular with how I was doing all the finishing and everything. So it's taken me longer to weave in all the ends and everything. If this were my own sweater, I probably would not weave in all the ends for the stripes. I would just give them a nice little knot and snip them off short enough to not be a bother or not hang out the bottom or something. But of course, with this being a sample for a yarn company, I want to make sure that I'm making it as particular as possible. All right, well, already breezing through the finished objects. So that is the Fantasyland Sweater, newly finished knitting with just a few things to do before I send it back to them. So the goal will be to finish weaving in the ends today and then wash and block it. Hopefully it'll dry over the weekend and I'll ship it off first thing Monday. Okay, let's do this one next. So once I bound this one off, I was like, I would like to have something else to work on that's a little more simple. So I cast on another Lento. It's all kind of scrunched up on the needles right now. I just have it on a 1/20" circular. I'm ready to split for sleeves, but I didn't have anything to put my sleeves on at the moment, so that just got a pause. And now this is really poor to show everybody, but this is a Lento. You've seen me knit one before. It's just a very basic raglan pattern, put out by Lento magazine, and I should remember the actual designer by now, but memory is just failing me this morning. I'm knitting this one in the Lana Grossa Silk Hair in the 035 colorway. It's like a really soft lavender gray color, and then holding that with a little Shetland cone I have from Harrisville Designs. This one is in the colorway Suede, so that's just a light gray color, and so the light purplish with the light gray is making this really soft lavender gray color, and I think it's looking really nice. Basically neutral, but just with a little bit of that interest from the purplish mohair. I feel like it reminds me of like Earl Grey tea or something. That's what I would name this colorway. So it's been fun to knit up, of course, just super basic, some minimal short row shaping, raglan increases, and now that I'm to the sleeve split, it'll just be smooth sailing straight down for the body. And then I have to decide, on my last Lento, I didn't do any sleeve shaping. I just knit straight down, did more of a rapid decrease, and then the cuff. So I'm thinking I might do that again with this one. However, I do want to make the sleeves a little bit longer. The sleeves for my other Lento are fine, but they're like basically perfect. So then when I like move my elbow or do anything, they do slide up just a little bit. And so I think I'll make them just a little bit longer compared to the one that I already have, and then they'll be perfect. But we'll see if I do any kind of sleeve shaping or not. Oh, I guess another modification here is I did go down a needle size. So I thought it might be nice just to have a bit of a tighter gauge with this one. So I'm doing it on US 9 5.5 mil needles, which the recommendation is US 10 6mm needles for the main body. And then I also went down one for the neck ribbing, which I can't remember. I think I knit on a 5 and the recommendation is a 6, something along those lines. So it still is turning out fairly similar to the other one. It's not a huge difference in gauge, but I think since I had enough yarn, I figured I would just do that. So then since I did go down a needle size, I went up a size or 2 in the pattern. So I'm knitting the 4th size, if I remember correctly. So yes, working up pretty quick on these big old needles. So that's been fun to work on. Super simple, mindless knit, which is what I have been wanting. And this was cast on basically because of my other whip that I've been working on. Wow, we are just really breezing through. That's fine. Shorter episodes are all right. Okay, so my second to last whip is another design that I'm working on. And this one was inspired by all of you who commented and shared a lot of love for the sweater that I wore a couple episodes ago. It was my gray textured sweater that I said was nice but just not quite right, and like the sleeves were too long and this didn't fit exactly right, and the collar was really stretched and a little too big. And so I'm knitting up another sample, this time in a bit of a different construction. So this is what we have so far. I just joined for the body and have knit probably like 3 rows since then. But I did finish all of the knitting flat, so that was really nice. This texture pattern is just a combination of, it's like 2 knit rows and then a combination of like knit, purl, and slip stitches for the next 2 rows. I won't tell you all of my secrets, but that is what it looks like. I don't know if it's focused. It kind of has. So yes, it's just got just like a really cozy, squishy texture, which I feel like everyone appreciated in the other one. So I guess the changes that I'm making, I can go through those a little bit. The last one that I made, I knit bottom up. So I started with the hem, went up, split for sleeves, worked the front, worked the back, and then I think I did 3 needle bind off for the shoulders, picked up for the collar, and then I picked up and knit the sleeves down, which I liked the stitch pattern going bottom up, but I didn't want to knit the sleeves bottom up. So that was one thing that bothered me about it, was that I like the body was in one direction with the stitch pattern and the sleeves were in the opposite direction, which is like fine, but not perfect. And so just another motivation to do another try. So that is why I chose to do the top down drop shoulder this time, is just to have it be cohesive, mostly because I prefer knitting the sleeves top down, because when you go bottom up, it's really difficult to manage how long you want your sleeves to be. So choosing to do it in that direction, I think will be more effective, especially because when this stitch pattern is blocked, it does grow, not like an excessive amount, but it grows like more than just stockinette does, in my opinion. And so, or at least that's what it seems like to me. And so I figured that being able to knit the sleeves and everything top down would be ideal, because then you can make adjustments if it doesn't work out after blocking. That's a lot simpler than trying to like undo everything bottom up. It's just way more difficult to make any changes there. So yes, and then the plan is to join and work down. This one is not going to have as much positive ease as every other sweater that I like to knit for myself, but it still will have a bit of positive ease. is the plan, and then probably no body shaping. We'll still just do straight down, and then the sleeves, I am planning to do some short row shaping here, just because since it will be a bit more of a, won't be tight fitting, but a little bit slimmer than like this dramatic large drop shoulder. I think it definitely will benefit from doing short row shaping on the shoulders. So I will have to figure that out, because I don't think I've ever actually done that with a sweater, because I typically just knit either yoked sweaters or raglans. Totally slipped my mind. Oh my goodness. So yes, I will figure out how to do the set-in sleeves, not set-in, the short row shaping on the sleeves, which will be helpful for this. And so before I do the sleeves, I'll probably finish the body, or at least make some progress on the body, and then knit the collar before I do the sleeves, because I feel like that definitely helps kind of figure out exactly how everything will fit a lot better, is when you have the collar in place, which the plan for that will just be probably 1x1 ribbing to match this stitch a little, since it is kind of a 1x1 pattern, and that's what my other sample was. So pretty excited about this. It's been going really well thus far. It is not completely mindless knitting, just because there are the texture rows, but it's a pretty simple pattern, so very easy to memorize, 4-row repeat, and you can read your stitches very easily to know where you're at. So very straightforward, but just takes a little more than mindless stockinette. So that's why I picked up and started a Lento, because I had actually started this project first. And at the same time I was finishing the sleeves, so many stripes on the sleeves and this textured pattern, I was looking for that good old stockinette to make that easy breezy mindless knitting time a thing. So yes, I think I've talked, oh, the yarn that I'm using for this. So this is, I picked up this yarn toward the beginning of this podcast. It is the Rowan 100% Norwegian wool in the colorway Cappuccino. My ball was a little bit messed up because little miss took a hold of it and walked across the room. So I don't know if any of you with kids have, if they also have a fascination with your yarn. It is fun, but I definitely end up pulling out a lot more knots than I would otherwise have to deal with and untangling all the yarn all the time. So yes, this is a new design. I don't really have too much pressure. Mostly I want to finish this so that I can wear it, and now that it's fall, I think that will be very motivating for me. But other than that, not like a ton of pressure for me to get this out super quickly. So that's as far as we've gotten here. We shall see how much I do for next time. All right. Have some fluff in my nose. Classic podcasting moment. And then, this is not really a whip, but I will show you anyway. This is me kind of playing around. This is what I have. So if you watched my last episode showing off what I got picked up from Wisconsin Sheep and Wool, this is one of the yarns. It is 100% alpaca. I don't remember anything else about it, like the name or whatever, and I don't have the label with me. So that's all we get for now, and this is all we get for the whip for now. Basically, I'm playing around. I've never done an I-cord cast on, so I just kind of wanted to see how that would work out. So that's what I'm doing, and I have probably like 30 stitches cast on, and that's about it. I just picked this up for a little while last evening, and that's as much as I've gotten in. I don't really know what this is gonna be. Obviously a sweater, because that's my jam. But beyond that, I'm not really sure. I think it will definitely just be simple and stockinette most likely because of how much is going on with the yarn itself. So I want to show that off and don't want to do some kind of texture or whatever that might lose or might just get lost in this yarn itself. So that's really all I have so far, whether it will be something I mess around with until I pick a pattern of someone else's, or if I do end up writing something up. I don't want to have too many patterns going on at once just because that's kind of a lot to jumble within my brain, and I'm not the best at like making notes and everything. I honestly can't recall if I actually wrote down what needle size I knit this on. I think I know, and I have more yarn, so I'm going to make sure that I'm correct with which needle size I knit this on, the sweater that I'm currently wearing. And I feel really silly, but that's just how it goes sometimes. So hopefully I'll be able to figure that out and that'll be fine. But that would be an issue if I have too many designs going on at once, because then I won't keep it all straight. So I either need to keep it to one design at a time or just get better at actually making notes. So we'll see which one I choose. Oh boy. Awesome. Well, those are really the only things that I've been working on the past couple weeks. It has been 2 weeks since I've given project updates because I just focused on Wisconsin sheep and wool last week. But yes, I guess that is still quite a bit of knitting in 2 weeks. Finishing a sweater. I'm trying to remember how far I was on this. I think I just had the top and had started one of the sleeves. Is that correct? I think so. Maybe finish a sleeve. I'm not sure. But finishing 2 sweaters and having a third of another, 1 strand of another, and the top half of my Lento raglan, I'd say that's a pretty good accomplishment for a couple weeks. Wonderful. Well, we kind of blew right through all of that, but I don't really have anything for Knitty Chat. I will say there is something I will talk about this and gush about it next week because I don't want to say anything before it happens, but there's something unbelievably exciting happening on Monday and I have butterflies thinking about it. So basically, I've gotten connected with another podcaster knitter who I am sure you have all heard of, and yes, that something's coming out on Monday, and I'm giddy with excitement for that. It is, I don't know, it's exciting. I will tell you more next week and probably like, when I rehash it, but something is happening, so keep your eyes out for it. Maybe you can guess what, I don't know, you're not gonna guess what it is, I'm sure, but when it happens, let me know. Come back to this video and be like, hey, I saw what happened, or something like that. I don't really know, but very excited for that. We'll talk about it more next week once the news is out. It's not really even news, it's just, okay, it is news for me, but very exciting. I'm pumped. I don't have anything else to say. I'm gonna stop trying to come up with stuff on the spot because we'll just sit here and stare at the camera until then. I guess I am taking this on my phone. I had been doing it with my computer previously, but the lighting was kind of funky last time. I don't know if anyone noticed, but it was going in and out of like dark light focus and just didn't really ever figure itself out last time. So I have gotten a better phone, as I mentioned before, so we'll see if this will be sufficient for podcasting. Make sure the audio and everything is all right, but yes, I guess if you're seeing this video, hopefully it's okay. Otherwise, this podcast will come out even later, and I will explain that when I film another one, I'm sure. Okay, enough rambling. Joy in life. I guess I've had a lot of things this week within my family, and I'm just so grateful for them. They bring me a ton of joy, and my immediate family and extended family, I love them a whole lot, and yes, I don't know. I'm not gonna gush and share of all of our family secrets. Not that family secrets. Oh goodness. Okay, I will ramble about something. Family Secrets made me think of Downton Abbey, which I watched in like 2 weeks. The entirety of all 6 seasons. And those are like, some of those are really long episodes. I don't really understand why some of the episodes are like 33 minutes and some of them are like an hour and a half. Not even all the season finales. I don't even know. But Downton Abbey, that was a great show. I don't know the last time that I got so sucked into a show before this one. But I just like engulfed it. It was so good, so interesting, very addicting. I got my mom hooked onto it, so she's been watching it, and I was trying to pressure all my sisters to watch it with me. But then all of a sudden I was on season 4 and I'm like, everyone's left in the dust because I can't get enough. So if any of you have watched Downton Abbey, let me know if you also got fully consumed by it and just thought about the fact that maybe if you keep playing it aloud, then your child will develop a British accent. Not that I was thinking about that or anything, but okay. I need to stop this before we get too far. I'm so happy that all of you are here. I've had so much fun doing this podcasting thing and sharing all about my knitting. Yes, cool. Let me know if you're excited about this guy or if you're interested in testing this guy. And I will let you all know once it's officially out. Okay, let's call it. Thanks everyone for watching. See you next time. Bye.